How did we get our first jobs in sports at 43 at Barça?
And I said, but I'm going to film myself. I'm going to be on camera.
What's the best football office you've ever been to? Is this the top one thing you hated the most about Barça? I see a message telling me she works with Novak Djokovic.
I once saw a Facebook post. Welcome to a new episode of Always Be Creating Podcast. I'm Aviv Levy.
I am Georgina.
Today we're going to speak about...
How did we get our first jobs in sports at 43 at Barça? How we ended up becoming a little bit, or how we started becoming who we are today.
It's a very interesting episode, so if you want to skip through the small talk, there's time codes, and you can just jump straight into when we get a job in sports and at Barça.
And towards the end, we'll take a look at the brand new kits that have been released ahead of the FIFA Club World Cup. I'm going to rate them.
Exciting times. Stay tuned for that towards the end of the episode. How are you, Georgina?
I'm tired. How are you? Are you jet lagged?
I'm a little bit jet lagged, but I'm okay.
Why is that?
Okay. I've been to Miami. I just came back yesterday.
How many days were you in Miami?
A week. Oh, it was a good week in Miami.
Okay. A full week.
A full week, yeah.
So you had time to adapt.
Yeah, but I was more jet lagged in the USA. So when I just arrived, like...
What?
No, you arrive and then every morning
weird.
You wake up like at 4, 5.
I never get jet lag when I go in that direction.
You never get reverse jet lag?
No. To me, reverse jet lag is the other way. Like when you come from the US to Europe.
I woke up today 7:30.
No
problems.
way.
Yeah, it was
I think
perfect.
it's more common, like my kind of jet lag.
Yeah,
when you travel back in time, let's say.
but I actually love it because the first 2 days, like you wake up at
future.
6. You wake up at 6, 5:36. Wake up, have breakfast, go to the gym.
No, that's
all
good.
before 8 a.m. And then it's like, okay, how long can I keep this up? And then it's only like 2 days.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But that's me when I go to the US.
Back from Miami. How was your week?
It was good. I had a vacation,
Okay.
a break, finally. And it was good. First vacation, proper vacation,
Where?
holiday. Just relaxing. Nowhere special. Disconnecting. Yes. Like not doing anything. Beach, sun, gente tan. Thanks for noticing.
You are a bit less white. yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting today in the office the comments. Oh, you're so tanned.
No, nothing.
Zero amount of tanned comments. But
I think it's just a normal 10, yeah. Just I'm
trying
walking
to wear
around the city 10.
Black. Okay, yeah. No, I went to the beach every day last week.
Wow.
Every day.
I'm jealous.
You should be.
I am honestly I am jealous.
Where are you going on vacation? So when's the next time? Like you're going to take a full proper holiday?
Full holidays. I'm going to Naples at the end of July.
Why?
First I'm going for my bachelor party.
Ooh.
And then I'm inviting my bride-to-be to spend holidays at the same place.
Cute.
So
Nice.
yeah, it's like 2 in 1.
Exactly.
It's like, we finished the bachelor party, come along, and let's enjoy Naples and the
nice.
Amalfi Coast. Yeah.
Cute.
I've been a few times, first time for her, so...
I've never been.
I
would
never?
love to. No, like
You've
to
been
Naples,
yeah.
many times. I've never been to Pompeii though.
So nice.
Yeah, I would love to. And I'm a natural disasters freak.
Yeah, we should be careful of these volcanoes. Now that Etna just exploded a few days ago.
Well,
erupted.
I'm not going to say what I'm thinking because everyone will think I'm crazy, but I just enjoy like when there's crisis and stuff happening. I want to be there. Like, yeah, but
LA
whatever.
crisis, no?
Sorry?
The LA crisis?
The lake crisis?
LA?
No.
Not this type of crisis.
type of
Just
crisis,
a volcano.
Yeah, no,
You enjoy
exactly. Like a little hurricane, small tornado, no victims, but
No
just
victims.
enjoying like a good storm and being trapped there. Like, I just love that.
Okay.
Besides this, I'm a pretty normal person.
Noted. Did you manage to disconnect on your holidays?
Yes. After the third day, I would say I was fully disconnected. And also because I came back on a Friday, like from like to real life, like Saturday, Sunday, I had time to adapt. And then yesterday I went to a Guns N' Roses concert.
Oh, wow.
So I was all fresh until the concert hit. And today I'm dead. So it's like I haven't been on holidays because I'm destroyed.
Where? Where was the concert?
It's at Lluís Companys, Barça Stadium, where they've been playing. Yeah, at home.
Former home.
Exactly, where we've waved the flag.
Or we have the flag, exactly.
Have you seen this TikTok viral? I can't remember what concert it was, but from a dad at Anfield recreating.
yeah.
That's I wanted to do that, but I just got there so late that there were so many people.
But you could have done the warm-up, no? Because the warm-up song of Barça is by Guns N' Roses.
Sweet Child of Mine was too dark. It was
Yeah?
late at night, 3 hours of concert, midnight.
When was Sweet Child of Mine played?
Towards the end. Yeah,
they want to
probably
keep
like
people there.
11:30. Yes.
3 hours of concert, though. That's crazy. I've been to a Shakira concert last Friday.
Oh, really? The Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran tour.
Yes.
I wanna
Las
go.
Mujeres Ya No Lloran tour. In Miami. It was good fun.
I was gonna say it's probably one of the best places this year.
90% women. 10%.
Good.
Yeah. Was good fun.
I'm sure it was. I've never seen Shakira, but I would love to.
She's a performer. She's good. But it wasn't 3 hours, though. It was 1.5 hours.
Really? I would have
Yeah.
expected from her maybe a little longer, but it's true that she's like so active on stage and
1.5,
dancing.
1:45. But she transitioned into so many scenes and so many outfits. I'm sure like Guns N' Roses just chill.
Yeah.
They're like,
I mean, they are 60-year-old.
yeah.
And I have to say, like, they were not like chill. Like,
Okay.
they had to take breaks. And in between songs, there were like a lot of drum solos and guitar solos, so that Axl Rose and all of them could like take a break. But other than that, I'm very surprised. Like, I don't think at 60 I'm gonna be this energetic, to say the least.
Yeah. It's commendable. It's definitely commendable. Okay, so we both been to a concert. We both been to a sunny location. Both have seen beach. And now?
And now
Your
it's
week.
back to work. Yeah. And here we are, Monday.
Do you consider
Doing
your
this.
work?
I mean, it depends. It comes and goes. There's days where I feel like it's definitely not work. But today, for example, was work because I came back and there were like 55 emails in my inbox that had to be at least read.
Yeah.
And trying to sort out things and budgeting and different messes and renovations for the next season, renewals of contracts and stuff. And this is work because I don't enjoy it.
Who's staying? Who's going?
I don't know yet. I hope everyone's staying. Not sure yet.
New goalkeeper, old goalkeeper.
Transfer season.
Christensen. Okay. No, actual job renewals, client renewals. Okay.
Do you consider your job work?
Most of the time I don't actually. I really enjoy what I'm doing. And like days go by and I don't feel it's work. But the more and more you deal with people and their problems and you're solving problems and situations and client situations and administration, then you know, okay, this is work. Like this, for example,
Yes.
this technically is work, but it's not work
No,
because
it's
I'm
not
just
work.
having fun. Mike and we speak but even this takes preparation because today we're going to speak about how we got a job at Barça.
Yeah,
How we started
actually,
working.
I think we should start doing this like at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, like telling people
like
what
telling
they can
people
listen.
what. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're too late. Like we lost probably a lot of people already by now. But those who listen, SO to you.
Yeah.
Also SO.
Do you want to give any shout outs today?
I think in a natural way, no? Probably.
Yeah, they will be coming up.
Shout out Shakira.
Shout out Guns N' Roses.
Shout out Ozuna as well for showing up.
He was at the concert.
She was all of a sudden like Ozuna, and then he just came out of the stage.
What
and then
song do they have together?
Monotonia.
True.
Yeah, which was pretty cool. And Alejandro Sanz was also there, and he also popped up out of nowhere. And
That's a good
like-
thing of watching a concert at a good location, like
Yeah, Miami,
This
yeah.
is not happening in
yeah,
Berlin. Like,
True. No Ozuna in Berlin.
no.
No, this was nice. This was actually
Was
pretty
Ozuna in
nice.
Berlin.
Like Miami, and Miami was like
Miami
vibing,
vibes.
and so
Miami confirmed it for you?
Miami confirmed it for me.
Good.
Miami lo confirmó.
So, today, let's talk about how we got our first jobs,
Mhm.
how we started Barça,
Yeah.
and then let's rate kits.
Okay.
Because a lot of teams have been dropping their kits for the FIFA Club World Cup.
FIFA Club World Cup starting in less than a week, so
'Cause-
that's also very exciting.
Yeah, like 15 days ago, I was like, why are all the teams suddenly already like dropping the kits for the new season? I had to give it a thought, like, why are all the technical partners in such a rush when usually they take like weeks and months and it's towards the end of June or beginning of July even when they drop kits. Like this year, Barça, I think they dropped it like towards the end of August
Yeah.
or something. Like, it was crazy, or mid-August.
Also because
whatever.
they didn't have stock, no, and it wasn't like
Yeah,
confirmed.
and they were changing the Spotify logo and all that. But anyway, you know what I mean? They it's never this early, or it's
Yeah.
that this is something in the past. In the past, it used to be like this.
Super smart commercial. I mean, FIFA Club World Cup is being played
100%.
in the United States, where your big part of your next target audience will be. So releasing the kits now, playing them, showcasing them in the United States is definitely a strategical move. So I think lots of clubs also planned for it,
Yeah.
and we will rate them in a bit.
Yes. Towards the end of the episode, let's start with our first jobs and how everyone can land their first job. So, Aviv, what was your first job in sports?
First job in sports.
Like, if you had any funny one that you want to share before that.
Okay, so the first job in sports, it wasn't really a job because it wasn't like a full-time thing or a part-time thing. It was like a very punctual thing, which was being a translator
Like
at the press
Mourinho.
conferences. Basically like Mourinho, yeah.
Good.
Like I think Mourinho, I'm not sure if he translated press conferences.
I
but
think he
I think so, yeah.
did,
Right,
yeah.
yeah. And also being a translator. I once saw a Facebook post back in the days when people used Facebook. Facebook post saying, hey, we're looking for a translator who speaks both Hebrew and Dutch.
Okay, so it was like Hebrew-Dutch translation.
Hebrew-Dutch, yeah, for a football match. And the only thing I read was like football match. And I was like, okay, let's
Then
go.
came Hebrew, then came Dutch.
And I was like, I speak those languages. Let's quickly send a message. They said, okay, sure. Send an email to this email. I sent an email and they said, great, you're the first one who sent an email. It's also the time where I was like on Facebook all day. So I sent an email. They said, it's for this press conference for the game between AZ Alkmaar and Maccabi Haifa, Dutch and Israeli team in Alkmaar. And they said, okay, what we need you to do is you come a day before the match. You're in between the coach and the player for the pre-match press conference.
The dream for you.
It was mad. The pre-match press conference of Maccabi Haifa, and then in the evening of AZ Alkmaar, and you're just there for whatever is needed. During the match, the day of the match, you'll be in the speaker box, where you will announce like the lineups and stuff in the respective languages, and also the message of UEFA like against racism, etc. Blah blah blah. Also in that language, and also if you need to tell people to stay in their place and whatever. And then they told me, yeah, okay, so that's that. And we'll pay you 450 euros. And they were like, is that okay for you? I was like, what? I'm getting paid for this as well?
Paid.
I get to be like in a stadium, like between players and coaches, and I'm getting paid. This is mad. And I said, yeah, of course, it's fine. Like, it's perfectly fine. Then actually,
probably at the time you would have asked for like $20.
I would pay.
50.
I would probably pay. As
No,
well.
you would have paid.
I was like, this is a nice experience. I actually at that moment.
How old were you?
22.
Oh, okay.
22.
Okay, yeah.
No, it wasn't like a super. I was a student back then, not like a super student, or like not extremely young or whatever, but just like a student.
Yeah, no.
It was 2016, 23 even, yeah, 22.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, this is a nice opportunity. Let's go. And then later on, I was also telling them like, yo, I also speak Spanish because it was an agency.
Classic Aviv.
Classic Aviv. Always upsell.
Classic Aviv.
It's never enough. Yo, I also speak Spanish. Now, you know how my Spanish now. It was not even 30% of what I speak now. And I told them, yo, I speak Spanish. It was university, learned Spanish. And they were like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And there was a game, Feyenoord Sevilla. And they were like,
beautiful.
No, we don't have any petitions yet. Until a week before, they said, yo, we have Feyenoord Sevilla. Are you available? Or are the translators not available? Can you do it? I said, sure, I'm there. They said, same rate. I said, perfect. I'm right there. And I remember this was next to Unai Emery and next to Stefan Mbia from Sevilla. And as we translate, and I just think, yo, keep it simple, like, let's not complicate it. My Spanish is not there. Go. So I'm sitting there, they like Mbia says something about his injury or whatever. And I translate it and I say, yo, yeah, and the doctor treated me well, blah, blah, blah. And Mbia interrupts me and he says, no, you have to tell them that the doctor treated me very, very well, what I just said. I said, oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. No, the doctor treated me very, very well.
Exceptionally well.
And I was like, yeah, no, this works well. And after this, I did
I would
also.
have died though.
Yeah, but I didn't care.
Yeah,
I
because
like,
Classic Aviv
yeah,
part
I
2.
didn't care. After this, I did AZ against Athletic Bilbao, my first ever encounter with the GOAT Ernesto Valverde.
Oh, brutal. The goat.
The GOAT Ernesto Valverde. And PSV Eindhoven against Atletico Madrid, which was like the highest that I achieved. Round of 16, Champions League
Champions League,
final.
wow.
I'm sitting next to Philippe Cocu,
No,
who
brutal.
played 220 games for FC Barcelona, speaks perfect Spanish,
You're there
and I'm there translating
translating.
him. Only for him, for the press officer came after the game to me, and no, after the first press conference to me, he said, "Yo, Aviv, thanks so much for translating, but Philippe wasn't too happy with your translations. He will do
No.
it himself tomorrow." I'm like, of course, makes sense. I've studied a bit of Spanish at university, but the guy has lived 6 years in Spain,
Practically native, yes.
practically native. So he should have done it by himself the first
Probably,
time.
yes.
Yeah.
But you still need well, they don't want to be translating first I answer in your language and then I translate. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Because usually it's been done at the same time.
Exactly.
At least now. Maybe back in the day, it was first the answer and then the translation. But nowadays, because it goes simultaneously.
Yeah, so you get the answer. So you get a question, and then the coach, for example, answers. Then you translate the question and the answer.
So it was like a 2-step, not
But
at the same time.
It was actually nice because at Atletico I was sitting next to Simeone
you were
and
floating.
Griezmann. So
We have pictures of this, right?
we have pictures. Yeah, we have pictures. So this was my first. I was now with Sim Normal, but back then it was my first touching point with football players.
No, I think it's amazing, to be honest, and it shows how important languages
are
still
bluff.
today.
Just bluff.
And upsell.
Just bluff your way, upsell, say yes, and work on getting there later. 100%.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You? What was your first job in sports?
Well, it was different, but it has something in common, which is interesting, which is social media. So
Okay.
you saw your advertisement for the job on Facebook. I'm a big tennis fan. I don't know if you've seen the Roland Garros
I know
finals.
this. Yeah. Oh, I actually didn't think I noticed, but I noticed. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a random story.
It's a random story, actually. I don't know if it's a job, but yeah, probably it was my first contact with professional sports industry. So yeah, I love tennis. I used to be much of a bigger follower before I started working. I would literally wake up to see the Australian Open and then stay late for the US Open and all of this. And I was a big follower of Novak Djokovic. So I started editing videos with his highlights and stuff and posting them on YouTube and Twitter and just letting them go on the internet. This is 2012.
That's crazy.
2012. I'm not even sure. Actually, when you post it on Twitter, I'm not sure video was allowed on Twitter. So it was probably YouTube with a link that didn't even display the video. It was just a link, but whatever. So one day, and it's very close to my birthday, I remember this. I see a message from a girl, Serbian, telling me she works with Novak Djokovic and that she would be interested in me creating a video if I would be up for that. And I'm telling my mom, I'm 16 years old, do you think this is real? What is it? Telling my teachers at school because they are warning you about social media and phishing and stuff. And I'm there is this even real? With my 100 followers on Twitter, what is this? Which are my friends basically, and people I know. And yeah, so they commissioned 2 videos. They didn't pay me. They tagged me and gave me all the credit.
What do you think about that in hindsight?
I think it depends on the brand. At Barça, for example, we worked on this basis for a while with creators. I think it's still done. And I think if you get the chance to work for a big, big, massive brand like Barça or Novak Djokovic or Wimbledon or these kind of big brands, I think the awareness it gives of you is worth it. It's an investment. After all, how much are you going to get paid?
Yeah.
Probably not that much.
Yeah.
And especially if you're just getting started. So I think it's better to take the visibility and then go. it's a completely different thing if we're talking media, if we're talking any kind of other platforms. But if we're talking like these big, massive brands that are the most followed accounts on social media, I would say take it, do it. I would still probably do it even nowadays for a big opportunity. I'm sure you've done it. Like,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
and I'm good with it. So I ended up doing 2 videos for them. I remember the specific day, like because it was around my birthday and stuff, and Djokovic followed me on Twitter. The 16-year-old me floating, like there was no connection to reality. Like, how is this happening?
Wow, that must be such an amazing moment.
Yeah, no, I have the screenshots, like probably somewhere. I will look into them for the short forms of.
I actually
of the
think
podcast,
I
but-
one time asked you, like, I think probably on one of the Barça trips, like, yo, why is Novak Djokovic following you?
Probably. Like, yeah,
Because I
Random
remember
story.
I remember once entering like in Twitter and seeing like your Twitter and it's
Doesn't
like
make
followed
any
by Novak
sense.
Djokovic and like
so
and like 50 other people or something, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
huh? Novak Djokovic?
Yeah, no. He still follows me to this day. Novak, please don't unfollow me. I'm a big fan, and I will always be grateful for this first opportunity to Dragana Germanovic, who was the woman who approached me.
When was the last time you've been in touch with him?
No, with him, I've actually never met him because he's never been to. I think he was once in Barcelona, and I happened not to be here because of Barça. And then I have never been able to attend any other, like a major, like an ATP.
Would you reach
meal
out?
or maybe eventually. Like, to be honest, it's something that just went away.
Have to do it before he retires though.
Yeah. No, I think we're looking more into, like, he's gonna still be in the industry, probably not with him, but like I'm not even sure like how are the tennis structured right now, like social media wise, because for example, tennis, I think it's one of the sports that does it the best on social media, like tennis, Formula One, and football, if I had to say. And they are
In what way?
great. Creativeness, pioneering of formats, and reactivity. Like they are so fast. I know you've seen the post from Wimbledon with
Yeah.
Alcaraz and Rafa Nadal,
Yeah.
the same age, like having the history, knowing the pictures, being able in like a few seconds to prepare it or have it prepared in advance. They always are up to trends. They do, for example, the Australian Open has been doing live shows with presenters for the longest time, before it was even a thing in football. Formula One, I think, are very creative.
I think for tennis and
Scuderias.
Formula One, it's probably like the advantages you have is that it's like singular persons, no? So it's like athletes represent themselves basically. In Formula One, you have teams, but it's not really a team. Like they're still all like their own characters and own figures.
But
Whereas in football, you also depend a lot on team and how a team communicates and
yes, but then why aren't the football players like creating all this content like the teams and the Formula One Scuderias are? Like I don't think they have that big of an access to the drivers as we think they do. Like I've never worked with Formula One, but I was very close to joining an Scuderia.
wow,
Yeah,
ojo.
between Barça and my company, I
Ojo.
was close. Yeah, I thought you knew this.
I don't think so.
I was in a hiring process with
Yeah?
Ferrari. Yeah,
Oh,
for head of content.
Ojo.
But to be honest, I know nothing about Formula One. I think I would have
it's
been
22 men racing against each other.
yes, I would.
And at the end, one wins.
One wins.
And at the end,
the other day
Max
I was
Verstappen
watching
wins. This-
not always, like the other day you went at the Formula One in Barcelona, right?
True. I think Piastri.
Yeah.
It's true, but now
Pjanic to me. 'Cause I saw
Pjanic.
Pia.
Oscar Pjanic.
Here we go. So Oscar Pjanic won. No, to be honest, I know nothing about Formula One or MotoGP, but I'm one of these people who will become the one to know the most.
Okay.
Like I will study. Like I won't bluff it. I will study my way into.
Pretty easy to understand, I think.
No, it is definitely.
It's like-
It's also very unfair, the safety car thing, where
Yeah.
you can be like racing and being the best, and basically
Hot
there's
take.
an accident, and yeah, like the other day.
That's how
happened.
Max won his first.
Yeah,
We love the safety car in the Netherlands.
I love safety car as
Right?
well. Ever since,
Patri is a big Patri behind the camera. So to Patri is a big Formula One fan.
really,
So the first ever Max Verstappen win was like I think he was trailing like 10 seconds or something behind Hamilton. And all of a sudden it was a safety car before the last lap. Everyone chilling, getting closer. And then Max overtook him and won. So that was great, no?
I think I saw this
Yeah.
race. I think I've seen 2 races in my life. This one, like, not
I
live.
think I think we both worked at Barça and we congratulated Max because we kind of took it from somewhere that he's a Barcelona fan, even though I think it's a bit of a lie.
Yeah, this is
I
ringing
think
a bell.
we took like a picture of him with a Barça flag.
Barça jersey.
I
We
think-
gave him here in Barcelona one day or
I
something.
don't know what it was. I don't
So
know what
many
it
years
was,
ago.
but we kind of like congratulated him. But he's only a PSV fan, from what I know.
Oh.
I think Emma Hamilton is a bigger Barça fan than he was because I remember the Barça GP. Like he was actually wearing the Barça
the
jersey,
kit, yeah,
and
I remember
we did some
this.
content with him.
I remember this. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So this was nicer.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So anyway, yes, I was this close
going
to
back like
working.
a few layers back.
Yeah. So
So that was the first job in sports, Djokovic.
Correct. That was my first job. Came up on social media, and I think because I was in high school still, like it was mad. It was absolutely mad. So I didn't see it as a career or something that I could actually, like, YouTube wasn't in 2012. Like it's so long ago. So that wasn't really an option at the moment. But if it had happened now, like I always say, like if I was 16 now, like my YouTube would be skyrocketing. I think, because
Why
I
what's the
see it as a
difference?
career. I just don't have the interest anymore in like. I don't want to say like I don't have the interest in creating my own content.
But Casey
But it's
back in the
like,
days?
wow.
Casey was hot back in the days, no?
Casey was hot in like, I would say his peak when he started the vlog was like 2015, 2016. So it's even 3 years later.
Yeah.
No, this was very the early stages. YouTube was founded, I think, 2007. So it's like 5 years into YouTube. Like it has nothing to do. But yeah, I didn't see that as an option. I was still thinking of being, I don't know, a pilot or an astronaut at the time. So like I was very confused. Anyway, so many layers. This was supposed to take like 2 minutes in our rows.
It took like 20 minutes. How did you start working for Barça then?
An internship.
Okay.
Yeah, not very interesting.
Catalan privilege.
Catalan privilege. Catalan or like if you're studying at the Catalan university, like you don't need to be Catalan to take an internship at Barça.
True. It's true though that they hire mostly Catalan interns though.
It is true. I think it's important that
preserve
most
the identity.
of the people who work there, but I don't think it needs to be like exclusive. You obviously need
Yeah, of course.
you need native people to take care of the Twitter
I'm
accounts.
not against,
No, obviously. Obviously. No. I don't think anyone is. Yep. So internship, although not in social media.
As what?
It's like the media department taking care of journalists, basically printing out credentials, taking care of an Excel file every day, writing the names and the surnames and the IDs.
Sick.
Yeah, fascinating. I thought it was gonna last a week.
Young Guarte.
Yeah, even more. Young Gorenas.
Young Urenas, crazy.
Young Gorenas. This was 10 years ago.
He's still there, man.
He's still there. Yes.
Unbelievable.
I think he was at the Guns N' Roses concert. I didn't see him, but he was like dropping lots of likes and stuff.
Okay.
So maybe he was there. Shout out to Francisco Arenas. He was
Shout
my
out, I
first
never
boss.
expected to.
First boss at Barça that I had. Before Barça, though, you started working in sports with 433.
True.
How did you start working at 433?
So it's actually one of the stories maybe that I told most. Like because people always ask me like, how did you start in sports? And I never really speak about the translator because for me it was like, okay, just luck, replying on the right message on Facebook, and you didn't really need any backstory or something. But for 433, actually, it was funny because I was.
You still need to take action.
You need to take action.
You need to take action.
Yeah, proactivity is one of the things I always say.
Yes. So it's luck, but it's also proactivity.
No, 100%.
And upselling.
Upselling and bluff
Basic.
and cojones and also without cojones
Basic
you can do
skills.
It. Definitely. No, so at 433 basically how I started is at the time I just had finished a master's in Barcelona and looking for a job in sports in Barcelona. So obviously like working at Barça, then working in sports or in football, which none of them were really a possibility. And if you know the landscape here, you know that actually there are not a lot of jobs in sports or football in Barcelona itself. So then I was actually working at a hotel reception for quite a while here.
Which one?
Retrom. back in the days, like which is now Fair Brunch.
I don't know it. Where is it?
In Cai Girona.
Okay.
So I was working there, just doing like some shifts. And then a guy reached out on LinkedIn because I was doing posts and stuff like, yo, looking for a job in sports. And then a guy like hit me up
again.
like, yo, what about 433? I was like, okay, this could be interesting. If you're ever in Amsterdam, like let me know and we can have a chat. So I was like, next week I'm in Amsterdam, let's go speak. And we spoke and he was telling me, okay, the job will be basically like speaking with clubs, with players, like closing partnerships for 433 with brands, like making sure 433 starts making their own content. So I was like, okay, fine. It's not in Barcelona, but it's in football. And now 433 would be an absolute no-brainer. Back in the days, like 433 was just reposting funny videos. Like take a funny video, repost it. Take a funny video, repost it. No own content, no nothing. So it was quite a challenge. And I said, yeah, I took a chance on it. And there were also like 5 people and 5 people and 2 interns.
What year are we talking about?
This is 2017.
Okay.
2017. So
Okay.
I moved back to Amsterdam from Barcelona and I started at 433 as a partnerships manager, basically trying to get partnerships with clubs and leagues and federations for them to give us content for us to post on 433 channels.
How many followers did 433 have at the time?
12 million at the time. 12 million.
Big.
It was already, yeah, for sure it was already
for
big.
For 5 people, I think it was already very big.
It was already big, followed by a lot of players. This
yeah,
was
that's
also the strength.
Key.
So followed by Cristiano, by Marcelo, many other players. Not by Messi, still to this day, not by Messi. But followed by everyone. Now I think it has 80 million followers, which is crazy. But this was my first time working there. And then being at 433, I kind of also developed as a content creator, or more towards the content creator side, because you're given a mobile phone and you come to places and you just start creating content and take chances. And that's how I became like more of a content person. But it was like the transition. So how did you start working in social media for Barça?
So the internship was only like 4 hours a day, but then because I could speak like more languages than just Catalan and Spanish, I got a summer job in the international department where I would be like translating and dealing with different like key accounts from partnerships, departments and stuff, and like coordinating a little bit the international communications of Barça, helping the team. So that was like a game changer for me, because going from 4 hours a day to 8 hours a day allowed me to have lunch with the colleagues.
Wow.
And you can cook a lot during break time.
Like you can cook during lunch?
Yes. Because it's completely different, like to be the intern and get there, especially me. I was doing my internship in the afternoon, where you got in at 4, at 5:30 basically there's no one left.
And especially Barça lunches as well, where it's 1 hour Barça lunch plus 1 hour optional exploding kittens.
Is this the top one thing you hated the most about Barça?
I hated lunches. I come from a Dutch working culture. I'd been working at like Dutch offices for like a considerable time, and Dutch lunches are just 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes. Like the moment you leave your seat to go have lunch, you have exactly 29 minutes to come back. And because if you like overdo it, they're like, hey, it's time to go back. So
how is it at Double Tap? What's the culture? The lunch culture?
Just do whatever you want. Like you want to go out and go to, I don't know, to KFC or something. And then you go to KFC.
So young, so many young people.
Yeah, young people, 22-year-olds, savages eating KFC for lunch. No, they go, or if they want to go to super, they go to super. If they want to have beer and chat for 45 minutes, like they do whatever. I trust them to be like responsible with the time. But at Barça, I remember just me bring my Tupperware, eating for 15 minutes and then thinking, okay, I'm done with eating. I'm just going back to my desk and continue working. And people were just talking and talking and talking.
And playing games.
And talking. And then it was like, okay, 1 hour has passed. So, when I had a little bit of bumpy times at Barça, I thought, okay, what's the first thing I'm going to do now? I'm going to have lunch with these people because that's how you, as you said, you can cook.
You can cook.
So you can network. So I'm having lunch with them.
It's literally like this.
And after 1 hour, it's like, oh, Famune exploding. Well, and then like there's always this one person bring out this deck
game.
of cards, exploding kittens. If you know, you know.
Great
If you
game.
don't, no, it's fun.
Say.
And then start
I
playing.
don't know if it's for lunch, but yeah.
But then it's like you had lunch from 2 to 3. At the 3, they start playing exploding kittens until 4, and people like stop by. You know, like covering the whole lunch break from 2 to 4. And then
This is 100% true. I swear.
No, but then someone still has the balls to say, "Me apetece un café."
Probably
Are we going
me.
for coffee? And then they just go and take their coat and they go to take a coffee and come back. So 2.5 hours wasted, basically on lunch. And I'm like going through this whole process of suffering and and like socializing. I'm like,
I don't want to socialize with these people because you have lunches of.
I had to because
I really
So-
remember your times where you were trying.
I was trying. I think I tried for 2
It was
months.
very visible that I was trying.
I was really trying. I was sitting through everything. I was sitting through every lunch, through every exploding kittens until I said, no, the situation is not changing. They're not liking me anymore. I'm just going to go back to my 15-hour lunches by myself. 15 minutes. 15 minutes lunches by myself and get back to
Excellent.
work. Yeah.
I don't mind about the 2-hour lunch
But you
break.
networked.
I networked
Eric?
back in the day. No, I met Eric. Like, because it was not like now they are in the same office. Like, we used to be disgregated in many different offices.
Pista de gel.
Pista de gel. No, Pista de gel. Not even Pista de gel. Like, we were in the door 44 of the stadium. Have you ever been?
True.
We were inside the stadium.
I visited once. True. I visited once.
It was just the communications department and
It's
some
a crazy place to have the
people-
office.
That was amazing. Like
In
you
the
were
stadium, yeah.
inside the
It's
stadium.
inspiring, though.
It's very
Yeah.
cool. It was very, very cool. I think that was peak office location.
Yeah.
Like it was not
Agree,
very
agree.
like
Aurora
workflow wise, not great.
Where do you rank Aurora Bertrana in like office space?
I mean, nice try.
It was modern, but it was like in a building.
You could have done, yeah, and not a lot of light. The office break, like also the lunch break, like it depends on where it happens. But in the Barça office, like it was so closed, no windows.
What was your favorite thing about the offices? About going to the office at Barça?
Oh wow, at Aurora Bertrana here.
Or just like,
The reception was awful.
yeah, it was a bit dark.
Like when you were entering and it was
But-
like you got back to 1950.
But I kind of liked it
fine.
or something. I don't know. It's like you come inside and then you have like this bench with Barça and it's like...
No,
oh.
upstairs, yes, but downstairs?
Yeah, true.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What was that? Like, was it taking a tunnel back in time and going 50 years?
But having clients over at that office, I don't think it's a great experience.
No.
It's like, what are you doing here in a residential building?
It's so bad. So bad. No, I honestly, after having been in other offices,
So that's your least
that's
favorite
probably
thing?
the worst
Okay.
office
And
I've been.
and your favorite thing?
I'm trying to think about it. Not a lot coming to my mind at the moment, if you can help me out here, but like I don't think it was that bad. Like I like that everybody was like in the same place.
Yeah.
Like still not everybody, like, not the whole club was working in the same office, but you still had like marketing and communications and the digital team and partnerships.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was better than being disgregated. But the office space with the gray floors, like I love my office now.
Yeah.
It's inspiring. I want to go there on Saturdays and spend there 12 hours a day with the terrace and the light, and it's
different, huh? Yeah, it was
So
very
different.
it was very corporate. It was very like, this is your
Yeah.
spot. You sit on your spot when you come in.
could be Barca or any other
Yeah.
Like there were some colors, but it didn't make it to me.
My least favorite thing?
Yeah. No, your favorite.
No, my favorite thing, maybe these little like devices outside of the meeting rooms where you can click like, you can book a meeting, instant book a meeting.
Yeah, but this is in every office.
And then it's like, it's green and then you instant book a meeting and it goes red. This is my...
I like the names. Mazia
names, yeah.
of the room, Sala Mazia.
Yeah, it was nice. Maybe...
I'm trying to remember Sala Culé.
Yeah. You had a few balls on the ground as well, which was nice. I actually like the office reception maybe the best.
There was a room, like I think it was Sala Mazia, that had like pillows on the floor and stuff. Like, it was like the Google room.
Yeah. I don't
Does it
remember.
ring a bell?
I don't remember.
No, absolutely no clue.
I have no remember.
Yeah.
No, I was also lucky to be like a lot of times like in the Ciudad
Ciudad
Sportiva.
Sportiva.
I was like 40, 60.
Those are good offices.
No,
over
maybe not
there.
even 46. I was like maybe probably like 30% Ciudad Sportiva, 40% office, 30% Camp Nou maybe, and games and stuff.
Yeah.
So my least favorite thing,
Yeah, your list.
I really want to get it off my chest. So the coffee that you had to pay for your coffees.
Yeah. And everything.
This was shocking.
There was nothing free.
I remember that you
Fruit.
came in and then you came in and you had to pay 20 cents for your coffee, I think.
Or bring your own.
Or bring your own coffee pods. And I remember like having meetings from people from outside, and then it's like, oh yeah, wait, let me give you a coffee. Oh wait, let me get my coffee pods from my desk and make you coffee. And they were like, what is happening here? Why is there not a coffee machine where you click? In the Netherlands, like coffee is like a basic human need.
Correct.
And you have unlimited, free, good coffee. And here it's just different.
It's because also you pay for it and it's awful.
Yeah, no, the machine coffee was awful.
Yeah. There was something else, but I can't remember. Well, never mind.
I love how we like make schedules about like what we are going to speak, and we go totally off topics. And
no, I was gonna say, what's the best football office you've ever been to? Because mine is really clear in my mind.
Wow, that's such a good question. I wish I would have some time to think about this. I really liked our offices at 433. Our new offices there were like nice and inspiring and like pretty cool. Long table, one long ass table, everyone sitting at the same table, football shirts hanging around, little football pitch, but also like a game room and stuff. I like those a lot. I'm trying to think because I had a few meetings like at clubs. I visited like Inter and Benfica and Bayern, and I'm trying to think if I've like.
No, these are all like very traditional, like very Barça, same style. Like it's a office building, maybe with some branding, but not a lot. I have not been to the Creator Lab of Juve. I would love to go.
Me neither.
Let's go.
Haven't been. Yeah.
Let's organize a trip.
Let's organize. And so to Andrea Previati, we're gonna come to.
Yes, we're coming to you
for a visit.
I'm a huge fan of the work that they are doing at the Creators Lab. I think it's
fan of the work, not fan of the club.
Not good or bad feelings for you. I don't really.
It's okay. I think
it's okay.
I heard one thing, like I was speaking with a guy the other day, and it was actually after the final, and we saw him in the plane, and he was a friend of a friend, and he was French, and I said, "Yo, are you PSG fan? So you must be happy, right?" And he's like, "No, I used to be when I was a kid, but now working in the business, you can't be a fan anymore." I'm looking at him, I was like, "What a douchebag! Like, why?" Why can't you be a fan? Why are we taking out this part of being Of course you can be a fan. It's okay to be a fan. Yeah? Why? You don't have to hide. It's fine. Maybe you're not as like crazy, like hardcore as but you can still like be happy. Especially if PSG just won a Champions League.
Absolutely.
Like
keep the feelings, emotion. You can be you can fall out of love with the industry sometimes when you're working the same things as it would happen in any other industry or work environment. But the feelings
can be fan of a club, of course. It's fine, even if you work with other clubs. I mean, this is something I hear a lot from football agents or football players or like that. Okay, like you cannot really support a club because if I have a player and one day I bring him to Barça and I support Barça, but the next day I bring a player to Real Madrid, you have to do business equally. And that's fine.
Of course.
You can always have like that preference or that initial love for a club.
It's more natural maybe, but it's totally. So if you ever get the chance, go to Manchester City's offices. They are the Etihad, and they didn't come to mind at the Etihad campus. They blew my mind. Nice, yeah. They were amazing.
Blew my mind. Nice.
All teams together, all departments together. The media facilities were unbelievable. The whole office space was very open. I remember it was a rainy day when I visited, of course. Manchester, but still it was like it had light. It had light and life. I love them. And also Inter Miami at the training grounds.
Yeah, Inter Miami is nice. I was there. I was there a few days ago at the training facilities. Super nice. Yeah, you're there.
Very new. The gym is amazing. The light
The
from
gym
the
is
gym
amazing. Yeah, the
downstairs.
gym is also open. Actually, I saw Jordi Alba. I saw to Jordi
Oh,
Alba,
you saw him?
and I saw Xavi Asensi. Also, I saw Xavi
I saw.
Asensi. I saw them both actually, and I was there with Celine, brought out
Mm-hmm.
content creator Celine and Ben Black, and they received us nicely, and we could watch a training, and we had to put our phones into a box before
Mm-hmm.
going to watch a training, which was also
Interesting.
interesting and peculiar. And we watched like old mates Suarez and Busquets training. Messi was on international duty, but it was nice to see. And actually, the facilities are very nice. Also, saw Adrian, the chef. I saw
Adrián
Turim.
Ponce,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of like Catalan influence there. But
Lots.
it's nice that they have the offices, then the gym, and it
Mm-hmm.
goes directly to the training facilities, which I think is quite rare these days. But it also makes them like walk on their toes because everything is confidential and players could be at any time, at any given moment, you know. So yeah, but that was pretty cool indeed.
I would love to go to the NBA offices in New York. I've heard they're amazing, but I've never been. But I think this is just like another level of cool offices because
America.
the American, like I've been to the Facebook offices in Palo Alto, like it's a whole
Nice.
city. But that's not like sports or a sports club specifically. I don't think you can compare this to Barça or any other club. I think sports-wise or football club-wise, for what I've visited, Manchester City would be the
Nice.
best.
Hey, if you made it this far, then you know it's time to leave a 5-star review wherever you are watching. If it's Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, which else, EG?
Basically, there's 3 channels. Drop 5-star reviews over there. Your questions. We're reading the comments and appreciate the love very much. But we want to hear more questions. And obviously, follow us at Always Be Creating Podcast, both on Instagram and on TikTok. And you can also follow us at Aviv Levy and at Georgina Leger. And yeah, that's it. Let's go with the episode. So, how did you? I was telling you that I started cooking.
You started cooking.
I started cooking
Okay,
during
you
lunch
sta-
breaks.
You started networking at the Barça lunch.
Yeah, I said networking, but in a very different approach that you network.
Okay.
So the way Aviv networks is basically upselling and telling and then doing. And for me, it was more the other way around. First, I was doing, and then I was telling. So
Okay.
I was like trying to tell everyone or set the mood that, hey, it's 2017. There's this thing called Instagram stories. I think we could have people on them. I think YouTube is exploding with Casey Neistat. I think vlogs are like the big thing also in Spain. There's all these YouTubers that we could collab on, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, no impact in anything that I was probably saying, but I started cooking a beautiful PowerPoint deck with all my ideas.
You have good PowerPoints.
Yeah, it was basic stuff, but 30 pages of ideas that we could do and produce. And once the deck was done, I said, I've told people, and then I could show, the ideas done. And I even filmed some videos. I don't know what, I think in the meantime, you came for the 433 collab, so that helped.
It's nice how that intersection. It's that intersection with how I started with Barça as well.
Yeah,
it was that day, but it's also I think it's funny what you're saying with the PowerPoints. I'm very bad at PowerPoint. Never made a PowerPoint in my life.
You're useless.
Yeah, no, but I also cannot make them visually nice. It's just a black background and white text. Patricia can confirm, and then I send them to Patri and say, please give this life. But I didn't have that privilege back in the days, so. The same thing. I was partnership managering across Europe, and we went to the Barça match, Barça Chelsea. And I was telling my boss Rogier Deelstra, so Rogier, I was telling him, yo, I'm going to be at that game because I have a meeting with Barça during the day and stuff, and I'm going to be at that game. Do you want me to create some stories for you? And we can post them. So we show S433 that we're at places. And he was like, okay, what will this look like? And I'm like, yeah.
That was revolutionary. People don't understand how crazy that was back in the day.
I'm going to take my phone and I'll present some stories. And I have stories that now still on this phone, where I say, hey 433 fans, we're here in Barcelona and I'm going to show you the city. And I remember that I built like a storyline of like me being in front of the Barça facilities, then doing a giveaway outside of Sagrada Familia with Eric Serra, SO.
How did you meet Eric? Through
Yeah, through
partnershiping?
partnerships, yeah, with Casper Sievertsen, the Dutch
Ooh,
tall guy.
he just got married.
He arranged that meeting, and then we had a meeting here at the Barça Cafe with Eric and Casper.
Okay.
And then we said, yeah, by the way, I'm going to do this during Barça Chelsea. Can you arrange tickets or accreditations? And then we can do like this giveaway on 433 channels. But I remember like also I proposed everything, and my boss were like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, sure. And I said, but I'm going to film myself. I'm going to be on camera. Is that okay? And he said, sure. If you fuck it up, then we'll never see you again. And if you do a good job, then we see. So, yeah.
But that's interesting because it really depends on who you're talking to,
100%,
like who you have in
100%.
front. Like if you would have landed in any other person, like probably wouldn't be here today, or it would be like a completely different story.
100%.
But for me, it was the same because I showed my ideas to so many people.
Who was for you?
Eric at the time was creating like a show called Inside Barça with a girl, Sara Canals. Do you remember Sara?
Yeah,
So
Sarah and Mike Toll.
Huge Guns N' Roses fan. Yeah, true. With Mike Toll. So one day, I became friends with Sarah because of Guns N' Roses, actually. So fun story.
Wow.
And yeah, we bonded over that. And one day, like something personal happened to her, and she couldn't like do the show. So Mike took over the show for the day, and they needed someone to collaborate. And Sarah told Eric, like, there's this girl in communications department. She's like being so annoying and telling everyone all the time how we should be doing content. So why don't you like meet her and stuff? And so that was the connection. And I was like upselling, but with my deck, you know? And he was like, yeah, well, I heard you like YouTube and stuff, and you can do videos. I was, yes, and this is my deck. So I will do the show, but then here are 30 more ideas that we can do. And it just went all the way up from here. Like I guess there was like a lot of work behind the scenes to make it happen. Like the project to bring you in, to bring people like Rodrigo, to really like shift the content strategy at Barça. And yeah, so that's how I did my first video for Barça. I was like in the kit announcement in 2018 in May. Went to the summer tour. Like I had just literally graduated. That was my first year working. Summer tour. Again, levitating through the floor. I couldn't believe it was happening. Not because of the summer tour itself, but because of the whole situation. Yeah, Levi's, where I met you. Exactly. And yeah, it all went from there. Live show, content in general, COVID. and
now we're here.
And now we're here. And now we're here.
Like, yeah.
So yeah, that's the short story.
Crazy. Yeah, it's funny how things go, because it's funny that Eric was also there also for me, because that first day at 433, or that time at 433, I remember it was the 11th of March. Yeah, I think 11th of March 2018, where we did this takeover, Barça Chelsea round of 16, at home, first match there 1-1. Then we came here all day. We were doing like giveaways and stuff, and giving away like Barça merch throughout the city. Yeah. First stop was Sagrada Familia. Second stop was, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere Paseo de Gracia, and third stop was at Camp Nou. So 3 stops. And then also like doing match content and stuff. And I remember like after, like I filmed everything, and now this was at 6 p.m. Zero experience ever with like working on a match day. But I just did what felt natural. So I'm there at 6 p.m. in the stadium.
Which is everything on social media.
No, I just felt comfortable. So I just wanted to tell the people that I just arrived to the stadium, which now everyone's doing. This is like now bread and butter. But like I arrived to the stadium. Yo, what's up? I'm in the stadium. I finished recording, and Eric tells me, wouldn't you want to do this for Barça?
No way. He said that
like
on the
this,
spot.
On the spot, yeah. And it was that my first ever day like filming myself. And I was like, yeah, maybe. I said, yo, yeah, maybe. And
I speak Spanish.
Inside, I was like, what? Because I had already like partnered up with PSG, with Bayern, with AS Roma, created stuff with him. No one ever mentioned it. And he was like, okay, Barça is also my dream club. And he was the one like saying this, like,
In
would you ever want to do this
Barcelona.
with Barça? And I played a little bit hard to get. It's like, yeah, maybe. I do have a good job now, you know. I see places, I go places. I get to film with players and get to go to football matches. I'm going to the World Cup this summer. So if it's ever concrete, let me know. And I actually thought it would stop there, but June
He had a
2018.
plan.
Yeah, he had a plan. June 2018. Like 2 weeks before the World Cup, he tells me, "Yo, send me your CV now." So I go update my CV, send him my CV. Again, 1 month took, and I was doing actually 2 months later, I was doing the summer tour with Bayern in the US with 433, and he tells me, "Yo, can you jump on a job interview like tomorrow?" Sure. So I jump on Saura, Arias, first conversation, then second conversation, then with Enric, then with HR, and then the deal was sealed mid-September 2018 when I was in Buenos Aires after I watched the Boca Juniors River Plate. It was my last gig for 433. And then the deal was sealed, and then I said, "Yeah, let's start the 1st of November after the Clásico."
Best year of your life?
Hmm?
Best year of your life?
I'm not sure if best year, but I mean, you don't really know how it goes when you get like job offers, because all the job offers I received prior was just like, okay, this is a contract, sign it, whatever, and work for media companies and printing companies, whatever. And then they didn't send a contract. They sent like a job offer PDF. So I received to my Gmail job offer PDF with the Barça logo here. And dear Aviv, we are happy to offer you this job of social media, blah, 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 with these conditions. And please let us know your decision. And I was like, it's like I'm like a football manager, you know, like they're making me, there's a logo and there's a job offer. And this was one of the best days for sure in my life. Then the other best day was when I was actually here. And I really also wanted to like mimic the fact that I'm a player, you know, I'm making a transfer, I'm joining Barça. So I want the picture in front of the logo here. I want the picture in the stadium. I remember like walking with the HR and she was showing me the stadium. I was like, no, I want the picture here as well in the chair of the press conference room, like full giddy. And I want the full experience.
Of course.
And I have all these pictures. I'll send you.
Lifetime long dream.
This was great, yeah. So this is how I started.
Cool. No, cute and very admirable.
Thanks.
How it happened.
Eric,
Eric. Yeah, so Eric.
You always need someone to believe in your ideas.
Yeah. Yes.
We should get Eric on the podcast. Do you think he'll be able to speak?
Able, yes.
Like willing, able, like in the sense that he could share and stuff. One day,
eventually. I think he will retire, maybe at Barca.
100%.
Do you think?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Maybe not.
He'll retire. I think he'll become like
CEO.
Probably, yeah, at some point.
I mean, I'm not laughing.
It's crazy. It was there since
our
time,
beginning. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how many years, but yes. Yeah, you need someone to believe in you. That's for sure.
So that was then. Next week is the Club World Cup.
Woo!
Have you seen some kits already? Do you want to rate them?
Yes, as we were saying. So we have kids from Chelsea, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Juve, Porto, Benfica, Botafogo, Monterrey.
Do you want me to open the link?
Yeah, well, let's open them all. Pachuca, Al Ahly, Urawa Red Diamonds, Esperance de Tunis, and Bayern Munich. These are the kits that have been released to the day we're off filming this.
Okay.
So let's like rate them.
Yeah. Out of?
Straight to the point. Like out of 10? Okay. Chelsea.
Okay, so Chelsea, it's pretty nice and clean blue. It's also pretty simple, to be honest. But I kind of like it. Like I kind of connect with the pattern. I would give it like maybe a 7.
They say the pattern is inspired by...
It's always inspired by something.
By the city usually. By the iconic London architecture.
Original.
Yeah, very creative.
Yeah. To be fair, they have a hard job because like you have to come up with a new kit every year. Okay, Man City.
So a 7. I'm rating...
You?
A 6.
Okay, 6. Yeah, it's too simple, maybe, no?
Yes,
Okay.
a bit simple. And
And
I like,
it's-
but I like that there is no sponsor.
Okay, but I think that they don't like it because they're
Yes.
missing a lot of money
Of course.
by having no sponsor.
Okay, Manchester City have two. Like they have also released. Well, the away kit is special,
Okay,
so they have this collab with
it's always
Kid
special.
Super,
Okay.
which is a long collab between Puma and Kid Super.
I like the home kit actually.
Me too.
It's like it's pretty classy. It's like nice, like broken white stripe diagonally.
I like it, and no, it's clean. It's fresh.
It's pretty clean. Yeah, maybe I'm not sure. Is the Etihad and the
I
OKX in the same font? Like no, not same font, but the
same color. Yes, shade of color.
It looks
yeah,
like
you
one is a
cannot
bit
tell
darker.
for the pictures. Yeah, it looks like the Etihad is darker, but I think it might be the lighting.
Yeah, probably.
It's probably in the same.
I'll give it a 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5 too.
Yeah.
I like it, and I appreciate kits that are like well structured. Like this year's Barça kit was a mess with the Nike badge and the Barça crest.
Yeah.
And also when the crests are in the middle, and then the players don't know how to kiss, and they are
like,
looking
what
around.
do I kiss? I kiss the middle.
What is
Yeah.
happening? Yeah. Okay. Real Madrid with these dots in the pattern, like it's some kind of
Inspired
fish
by
skin. Inspired by, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, there is no sign of it. Inspired by the Bernabeu. But where is the Bernabeu
inspired
in
by
the
the
kit?
Bernabeu.
Because the dots? Where are the dots in the Bernabeu?
I have no idea, to be honest. I don't like it. And not because it's Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I want to clear this up. I just don't like it. I feel like this is a classic one where the kit manufacturer says, okay, we're going to produce a slightly uglier one this year, to next year come out with like a super slick white kit, nice, like minimalistic design.
I agree.
To have this contrast, Barça and Nike also sometimes do it. Like, they come out with a little more extravagant, like uglier one.
What's the worst Barça kit?
I didn't like the one, I think it was 2020, 21.
The crest.
The crest, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice, like when you think
Super.
about it, but like also maybe it was the year.
Yeah,
and
the year was
and the
so bad.
colors were
The
off.
campaign though I liked it, but more than me. I'm not sure if you remember it.
No, it was
then we can
good.
talk
This one I don't
kids
like. I'll give it a
campaigns.
5,
Yeah, I'll give
maybe
it.
4.
I'll give it a 6, just because I in general like kids that are one colored kids. But yeah, it doesn't make, for me the pattern doesn't make a lot of sense. In general,
There's yellow, black, gray,
yeah,
white here.
Yeah, and why is like this, like massive stripes under the arm? It's a bit weird. Having a white kid though is a dream for any partner.
Yeah.
Having
100%,
beautiful
100%.
visibility here. Okay, intern have received a lot of criticism.
Yeah. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Yeah, people are not receiving it well. But did you know
Yeah.
that if you read,
It's not gonna change my mind.
you're gonna change it because of what I'm going to say?
Okay. No, I'm not gonna change my mind.
You're not gonna change.
Okay.
But do you know what I'm gonna say?
No.
Like if you look close into it, like the stripes, you can read Inter.
Okay.
With the dark ones, you can see the I, the an, T-E-R.
Okay. Good for them.
Inter.
I still don't like it. No.
Yeah, it's a bit.
I don't like the way that the stripes are like structured. I don't like the fact that it's super thin at the top. I don't like the colors even. Like I feel Inter should be like classic, like hard blue, hard black. And I also don't like the fonts. So
It's a bit too gray. I'm not sure if it's a picture. Maybe it's not, but it feels like a gradient.
Gets a
rather
5.5
than
for me.
Inter 5.5.
I don't like it.
Okay, I'm gonna go a 6
You?
because I love the shade of blue of the Nike, although I don't think it like matches Inter. Probably like gold would have worked much better, but in terms of visibility and the shade, I love.
What do we say about Juve?
Oof, I like Juve a lot.
Okay. Because of the pink elements?
Yes.
So the Juve, for the ones who are not watching on YouTube, so it's black, white, and some pink undertones. So the classic pink Adidas stripes from the top, but also the elements are pink. I mean, it's nice. I don't see something super special about it, but I think I see how this becomes like a classic kit, especially if they have a good season.
The stripes though are very like the width of the stripes are very different. Like
Yeah.
if you notice, like there's one super wide and then like very thin stripes. So I'm not sure how this kit has been received by the Juve fans. But as a non-Juve fan, and I don't have any special like appreciation or following for the Juve culture. For me, like aesthetically, I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay.
But I know I'm gonna get destroyed for it.
I'm giving it a 7.
Okay. Porto. It's New Balance. I don't like the stroke around the partner, but it's a must for visibility. No, why don't I just put it in gold?
I give it a 7.5.
Without the Betano, it would be a 7.5 for me. With the Betano thing, it's a 6.5.
Okay.
Well, 7. Okay, I'm feeling generous.
Okay. Benfica.
To be honest, because it like opened like this fast, I thought it was an Arsenal kit.
Same sponsor.
Same sponsor, same technical partner, same color.
Yeah, same color.
Very, very basic design. For me, it's a 5.
Yeah, it's very basic, huh? Yeah, I give it a 5.5.
It's a... I don't know if it's a 5 or it's a 4.
Botafogo.
It's a 5. Okay. Botafogo is probably what any Juve fan would like.
Diadora.
Uh,
We see Diadora.
Reebok.
It's Reebok. Yeah, true. True.
I like it. 7.
I like it as well, yeah.
7, 8.
I think it's very coherent. Like,
Yeah,
sponsor
7.5.
is the same as the logo, as the club crest.
It's very
It's
comic.
very basic. It's nice.
5. Yeah.
It's well done.
8.
It's well done, yeah.
Goes an 8. I don't have the context for all the Botafogo kits,
No.
but I think it's...
No, but this is what it should be like
Yes.
moving forward.
Oh, wow.
Rayados de Monterrey?
Monterrey, yeah.
A lot of rayados, pocos rayos.
I wasn't expecting this. I hadn't seen it before.
So Lucas Ocampos, who I see on the picture, and Sergio Canales as well.
Yeah. I did many edits of Ocampos last year. Not this one.
Football legend.
Wow. I'm sorry, Puma.
Yeah, I don't like it.
What is this like crest that is in the middle? They have... And why...
But also the captain sleeves, something I don't like.
I'm very confused by the kit. There's like so many elements. We have a darker color, like it's a shirt. Then we have 3 Puma badges.
Pachuca?
And, well, there's like many other things I want to
Wait, sorry.
trash about.
Rayados?
Rayados, Monterrey.
What's your verdict?
No.
Probably like a 4, no? 3 or 4.
2.5.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. Pachuca.
Pachuca.
I love the Pachuca restaurant in Barcelona, by the way. If you've never been. It's
In
tacos.
Raval?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been.
Pachuca. It's
I've been like
good tacos.
a long time ago.
Pachuca.
I like the home kit, assuming the white and blue is the home kit. Yeah, the white and blue is the home kit. I like it a lot. Think it's classic. There's a nice little polo.
There's like these very thin stripes, gold stripes around the blue stripes. But there's something, I don't know if it's the colors. Yeah, not sure. 6.5.
6.5. Let's do, for me, Pachuca, maybe home kit gets for me a 7. Let's do Bayern.
Yep.
That's a special one. They got a lot of shit for it.
I haven't followed. Why?
Yeah. Because, people don't like it. Basically.
It does this M. No? Well, I read that it has the shape of an M, like Mia Samia, I'm assuming.
Yeah. There's always a way to justify it.
Yeah.
But I think like the Bayern fans just want a classic red and white.
But then you end up having Benfica,
same,
Arsenal,
Yeah.
Liverpool. How do you even... Well, and Liverpool at least doesn't have Adidas, but...
I like this one actually. This is something that I would probably wear. I would like it, yeah.
It's horrible.
You're horrible?
No, wearable.
Oh, wearable, yeah.
Like, it's a 7 for me. I wouldn't... Yeah, maybe it's a festival shirt more than a classic Bayern Munich instant classic.
Just like Sunday stroll through Elborn, wearing this one.
Exactly.
Hat,
Exactly.
baggy pants. Okay, Georgina.
Okay.
Another episode. We said we're going to do 45 minutes. We gave you twice 45 minutes.
Exactly.
Sorry, apologies. If you think these episodes are too long, let us know in the comments, please.
Yes. And
And
leave us 5 stars anyway.
Yeah, a little 5
Reviews.
stars. Like,
Just drop the stars.
We should have done this earlier. We should build more structure, perhaps.
Yeah.
Like minute 45, say this. Minute 30, say this.
Or
just keep it like this.
We can keep it rambling, but I do think we could insert and we can even record it afterwards.
It's also true.
That I think we're gonna do. We're gonna say goodbye now.
Thanks for
listening. Drop a lemon if you made it this far.
Yeah, lemons. Have we seen lemons last year?
I didn't check, to be honest.
Okay, drop lemons if you made it till the end.
Yeah,
drop
the
lemon. And also let us know what you liked most about this episode, or what you would like to hear more about. I mean, today we've given a lot of insights on how to work in sports and how to show personality and get questions all the time, like how did you start working, how did you do this, it's it wasn't luck.
Top one question. No, definitely it wasn't luck. So yeah, thanks for listening and see you.